Hey, I'm Koaw. Let's learn about harvester ants, their extreme venom, and the severe and unique pain that it causes in humans. Stick around. Warning, harvester ant venom can be lethal to humans. Koaw does not suggest nor advise anyone attempt to repeat what is shown in this video. Now before we get to the exciting testing, or should I say stinging, let's go over some facts. Harvester ants are the most potent genus of insects on the planet, where Pogonomyrmex maricopa is the most venomous species within the genus, possessing venom about 20 times more toxic than honeybee venom and 35 times more potent than western diamondback rattlesnake venom. Harvester ants get their name because they actively gather seeds as a food source. However, they are generalists. They are scavengers of dead creatures and seeds, but also can be active predators, usually upon other insects. My first research on the harvester ant actually began when I was walking past a colony and I leaned over to film for a few moments.
Alright. Ow.
The initial pain was nothing compared to what soon followed, of which then carried on for hours, and that led me to do some investigating. Among all my research, I found a newly published book by an entomologist, or a biologist of insects, who also has a formal education in chemistry, and who has extensively studied and published about harvester ants. Dr. Schmidt's book also described in detail the type and level of pain he has experienced from numerous insect stings over his long career. There couldn't be a more fitting text to find. For comparison, Dr. Schmidt provides a scale of 1 to 4 pain levels. He places the sting of fire ants, yes, the name speaks for itself, at a level 1. The incredible sting of the western honeybee receives a level 2, and the 3 species of harvester ants that he describes each get a level 3, where he so poetically describes the sting as bold and unrelenting. Somebody is using a power drill to excavate your ingrown toenail. Only 3 insects he describes receive a level 4, one of which being the infamous bullet ant. Here in Colorado, there are at least 5 species of harvester ants. It was simple to determine that I was stung by a harvester ant because of the symptoms I experienced from the unique venom. As it turns out, harvester ant venom is very different from other ants and other insects. For starters, the cocktail of enzymes cause the duration of pain to range from 4 to 12 hours, depending on the species injecting the venom, and also many other variables like time of day. Another telltale clue of harvester ant venom is the localized sweating around the injection site. Now I know that Coyote on Brave Wilderness already did this for you, but I just was already filming before I saw his video, and as much respect as I have for him and what he's done, figured I'd continue, add some information, and correct one piece of misinformation that he gave his viewers. So I actually just caught a snake about a half hour ago, and I'm curious if that's going to add to the defense reactions of these ants. They're already crawling on my toes right now and trying to bite. So I'm just gonna put my hands down, and trust me, I know how venomous that these ants are. I've already been bit by a number of these ants, and I have the marks to prove it. Let's get to it. The lethal component of these ants is still being isolated and processed for scientific discovery. And what we do know is in the Florida harvester ant, they have phospholipases A1 and B, which break down the phospholipids in cell membranes, and that hurts a bit, which releases lysolecithins and other bits that work to destroy cell membranes and induce pain. And there's also barbadocytocin, which is a pain inducer, a polypeptide of 34 amino acids. And then there's hyaluronidase, which, here I'll see a bit more. Hyaluronidase, which acts as a meat tenderizer. So as these ants right now are injecting venom into my hands and arms and feet, it's softening the tissue, allowing the spreading of more venom. And then there's enzymes such as excitase and phosphatase, acid phosphatase, which are breaking down other molecules in the body, which at the same time is exacerbating the other effects of the venom. Let's not forget about the hemolytic effects of the venom, which are actually destroying red blood cells, releasing hemoglobin, disrupting oxygen transport. Ow. And messing with my kidneys' ability. Now, let me quickly just say that the pain right now will only get worse. I've been shooting this is my 4th time to a nest, and it hurts, and it's only going to get more painful.
The ants are capable of biting with their large mandibles, but the venom is injected via the stinger, and they can sting multiple times. And here's a nifty fact: only the females are capable of stinging. Why? Trace the evolution of the stinger back in time, and it was first used as an ovipositor, or an egg-laying device. Some males do have pseudo-stingers, or fake stingers, which are just hardened genitalia that are incapable of releasing venom.
Now, the most pronounced effect, the prominent effect of these harvester ants' venom is actually their neurotoxicity. Yeah, you heard me right. The nerves within my skin are going to directly affected, which will then reach my spinal cord and eventually my brain. So, about 1 to 2% of the human population has a severe allergy to these sort of ants and would die probably from a single sting. Now, I could probably rile up this nest a bit more. And I have. And I think I've only sustained a few new stings right now. But it's quite painful. And let me just get this camera a little bit closer. Show you exactly what's going on here.
Unlike the honeybee, where the intense pain lasts only a few minutes and is mostly localized, the harvester ant venom progressively gets more painful and spreads from the injection area.
Oh, and to correct that piece of misinformation that Coyote gave everyone, is he said that harvester ants do not autotomize their stings. That is, like the honeybee, they don't leave their stinger within the skin. Well, that's not true, because certain species of harvester ants do that. They're capable of leaving the stinger in the body, even into their whoever they're attacking, even if their entire body is removed. So that stinger will remain in the flesh, the skin. This hurts. Even if that body is removed. Sorry. It's a bit hard to concentrate with the pain that's beginning to just completely radiate through my arm right now. And like I said, this is only going to get worse.
Small vertebrates like mice cannot endure too many stings from harvester ants without succumbing to death. As humans, we have an advantage. We are larger, and our thick skin slows the spreading of venom. Not to mention that the harvester ant is injecting very small quantities of venom compared to that of, say, a rattlesnake. The harvester ant venom is somewhat 800 times more potent against vertebrates than it is against other insects.
That means that, as a mammal, I am more susceptible to the pain and effects of this venom than, say, another ant or a wasp.
Now, I know that I didn't jump around and scream in pain and whatnot, but I just don't have the same flair for the dramatic as some people. And in my life, I've learned that pain is simply just biochemical, electrical reactions from our nerves sending messages to our brains. And it's really up to how you deal with pain. Oh, and don't do any of this at home. You could die. But anyways, so I've just gotten, I can't even count how many, the tops of my hands, which will soon begin to welt and swell. I can't localize the stings anymore. I can't figure out where they came from because my entire hands are throbbing. I would describe right now the pain that's still only gonna get worse. Something like a bunch of nails in the foot. I do have experience with that. Between half my hand falling in a fire, also have experience with that. And it's not quite yet at the point of sand in an open blister, which I had at the beach recently. It'll get there though.
What to expect if you were stung: pain, muscle tightness, localized redness and sweating, and cloudy brain. After 3 hours, only the cloudy brain dissipated. After 8 hours, the pain subsided, but the itchiness kicked in.
Alright, so this is the next morning. Pain went away about midnight, but it still itches like crazy now. Those are just from yesterday. So, avoid the harvester ants. They're beautiful, but they will defend their nests pretty aggressively. Maybe wondering why I do this. I seek to educate, and I understand that there has to be a compromise and education has to be entertaining. So if only a few people learn something from this video, then I have accomplished my goal. Keep loving the beautiful chaos of nature, guys.
Rico.